When does this huge job, guiding the next generation, when does it actually sort of end? It's this big question about, well, purpose, isn't it? When have we done enough?
It really is the ultimate question for so many people. And today, we're looking at a specific framework, the kind of roadmap, you could say.
Okay.
We're doing a deep dive into the principles laid out by Pandit Sriram Sharmacharya, specifically focusing on his book, Santanka Swavalambi Paroban Hyparyaptai.
Right, Santanka Swavalambi Barbanana Haparyaptai. And that translates to something like, it is sufficient only to make the children self-reliant. That's a powerful idea right there.
It really is. Liberating, as you said.
So our mission today really is to unpack that. We want to pull out the positive, the practical steps for parents, sure, but also for anyone thinking about their life's duties. How do you foster that genuine self-reliance? And then, crucially, what comes next?
Exactly. It's a philosophy that lays out life in, well, two really noble phases, each demanding full commitment.
Okay, let's dig into that foundation then, starting with that first duty. If you bring a child into the world, the text says the responsibility is pretty comprehensive, right?
Absolutely. It starts with the basics. Nourishment, education, making sure they can earn a livelihood, and even helping with finding a partner, marriage.
It sounds like covering all the bases.
Yes. And what's interesting is how the text connects this to nature. It points out, that every creature helps its young until they're independent, until they can literally stand on their own feet.
But for humans, standing on your own feet means so much more.
Precisely. It's not just physical. We need that mental, intellectual, even moral preparation. Just feeding a child keeps them alive, sure, but it doesn't guarantee they'll thrive or, be a good person.
Right. Character matters hugely.
So the main takeaway here, the big goal, is that parents need to make their children yogya capable, physically capable, intellectually capable, and mentally capable, so they can lead a truly self-reliant life. A Svavalambi Juvan.
Yogya. Capable. I like that. It's not about making them rich. It's about making them capable.
That's the standard for phase one, yes. Robust, rounded capability.
Okay, so if that's the goal, how do we actually build that? What are the tools the text gives us? It's got to be more than just like school and homework.
Oh, absolutely. It goes much deeper. The text outlines a whole toolkit, essentially. These are the key things guardians need to provide. And they're designed to build not just skills, but character. Culture, even. Sanskriti.
Sanskriti, okay. Character and culture. Let's break down those tools. What are the pillars?
Well, there are four main ones. First, providing healthy, nutritious food, pushtik ahar.
Okay, makes sense. Fuel for the body and mind.
Exactly. And it's not just about calories. It's about food that promotes strength, but also, importantly, mental clarity and moderation. Avoiding foods that make you sluggish or agitated. It links physical health directly to mental discipline.
Interesting connection. What's the second pillar?
Second is proper instruction and learning, uchit shiksha.
Uchit shiksha. We talk a lot about education, but what does proper mean in this context? Is it just about getting good grades?
Not quite. Uchit shiksha is learning that's, well, ethically grounded, but also practical. It's education that prepares you for a job, yes, but also builds your values at the same time. Building conscience alongside competence, you might say.
So wisdom applied, not just facts learned.
It's a good way to put it. The home environment needs to support this, focusing on practical wisdom.
Okay, third pillar.
Simple entertainment. Saral Manoranjan.
Simple entertainment. In today's world, that sounds counterintuitive.
It does, doesn't it? But it's strategic. Saral Manoranjan is key for cultivating self-control, or simyam.
How so?
Well, if entertainment is simple, think nature, constructive hobbies, real interaction, it trains the mind to find joy without needing constant, overwhelming stimulation. It helps preserve inner peace, which is crucial for discipline. Less dependence on complicated consuming distractions.
Intentional simplicity. I see the logic. And the fourth element?
The fourth ties it all together, providing the right social context, the right environment. Sahi Sanskriti.
Sahi Sanskriti, so the culture around the child.
Exactly. This is about guiding the child towards becoming virtuous, noble, a sachin. And these role models, community connection, a moral atmosphere at home. Creating an environment where their character, guna, their actions, karma, and their basic nature, svabhav, all align towards responsibility and good conduct.
Wow. So good food, grounded learning, simple living, and a moral environment. That's That's a high bar. The real job is creating this whole ecosystem for virtue and self-control.
That's the goal of the parental effort, yes.
Yeah.
Building that comprehensive foundation.
And that intensity, that focus, it must have an endpoint, right? The text addresses that.
It does, very clearly. There has to be a practical limit to this really active, hands-on parental duty.
So once you've laid that deep groundwork, when does the text say the primary job, the provisioning role, is actually done? What's the line?
The obligation, as the text puts it, is to provide the necessary means, support, facilities, guidance, up until the end of adolescence and the start of youth. That's the transition point.
The beginning of youth. Okay.
It doesn't mean cutting them off completely, obviously, but your role shifts. You move from being the main director, financially and disciplinarily, to more of an experienced guide, someone who's there for advice.
Got it. Are there specific things that need to be in place to say, okay, phase 1 is complete, milestones?
Yes, the text suggests the groundwork is properly laid when sort of 4 key things are established. First, you've given them the counsel and wisdom they need.
Okay.
Second, the basics of discipline are internalized. They're self-managing. Third, and this is crucial, you've helped them find suitable work. Their path to earning a living is clear.
Right. Practical self-sufficiency.
And fourth, assisting them in finding a suitable life partner, ensuring that social and emotional stability is also settled.
Okay. So establish in work, establish in partnership with the character to manage themselves. Once they hit that point, truly svavalambi.
Then the primary duty of direct care and financial provision is considered fulfilled. The debt, so to speak, is repaid.
That's a really clear demarcation. The intense focus can shift.
Precisely. Because the core task ensuring the next generation is competent, virtuous, self-reliant that's been achieved. And this is where the life purpose takes this beautiful, expansive turn.
Yeah, this shift is what I find incredibly profound. The family unit is stable, the kids are okay, and then the focus just zooms out from the personal to the, well, universal.
That's exactly it. Once that parental duty is done, the text points to a further duty, an essential higher duty for the rest of your life.
Which is?
Cooperating in the stability and progress of society. Your purpose expands beyond your own family. It includes the world, Vishwakalyan, world welfare.
So all the wisdom you gained raising kids, the time that frees up, maybe resources you built, it's meant to be reinvested.
Reinvested, repurposed, yes.
Yeah.
The text advocates for what you could call the path of dedication. Your remaining time, your effort, any surplus wealth.
Yeah.
It should be used constructively, specifically for 2 things: continued self-improvement, Atmakalyam, and the welfare of the world, Vishwakalyan.
Okay, Atmakalyam and Vishwakalyan, self and world. But the idea about surplus wealth, that's quite radical today, isn't it? We usually think about passing wealth down.
It is a different framework. The idea here is that if you've accumulated more than what was needed to make your children truly self-reliant, Svavalambi, that extra energy, that surplus, belongs to the broader community. It's meant for Lok Mangal, the public good.
So you shift from managing your household to serving humanity.
That's the ideal transition, dedicating your remaining energy, your time, your resources, purely for the benefit of others, using what you have for these virtuous tasks.
That requires incredible discipline, though. First, to successfully raise self-reliant children, and then to voluntarily redirect your focus and resources outward. It's an evolution of duty.
It really is. Moving from the specific, intense focus on the family to this vast, open-ended service to the world.
It's quite inspiring, actually.
It affirms our highest potential, doesn't it? The experience, the wisdom you gained, making your child Svavalambi that becomes your capital for phase 2. Your contribution to making the world, well, a better place.
So wrapping this up, what does this roadmap mean for us listening? Wherever we are in life, it feels like there's real clarity here. Phase 1, intense focus, building that physical, intellectual, moral self-reliance in the next generation using those 4 pillars.
Exactly. And phase 2, once that's achieved, you channel that energy, that wisdom, those resources into serving the wider world, contributing to society's progress. It's just a really positive view of how life's duties can keep expanding our impact, from Svavalambi to Vishwakalyan.
This whole philosophy, coming from Pandit Sharma Acharya's work, it really challenges us, I think. It defines a successful life not just by what we gather, but by how nobly we use our time and energy across these different phases of duty.
And according to the text, that dedication to self-control, to virtue, to fulfilling your duty, that's what creates a kind of heavenly atmosphere, a Swargya Vatavaran, right here. So here's something to think about.
Okay.
How might applying this principle, really focusing on making your children self-reliant, and then shifting that energy towards the greater good, towards Lok Mangal, How might that change your own definition of a meaningful life, of a lasting legacy? That's the real question of purpose, isn't it?